Now you might notice it's a little bit odd here in my room today. That's because the window is wide open because I'm frankly melting alive in this room trying to record these videos. So I do apologize, but deal with it, I guess. Let's do Sector 3. I know it's taken me ages, I'm sorry guys. Conquest Sector 3 then, ladies and gentlemen. As we have discussed in previous videos, each sector has got 20 nodes. 2 additional nodes are boss nodes and mid-sector boss nodes as I call them, and the rest you got some little data disk stockpiles and some Jawa scavenger merchants and all that sort of good business. So Sector 3, what are the feats that we need to complete? Gain defense up 60 times. We can cheese that in one battle, so don't worry about that. Gain 400 stacks of target practice. You can cheese that in a couple of battles. It's really not so hard, even if you do not have brand new Bad Batch. And disarmed win 14 battles with no attackers in your squad. Finally, 15 battles with Darth Vader surviving. Now, unfortunately, Darth Vader is an attacker, so you cannot double dip these feats, and that is a total of nearly 30 battles. So no matter what, you are going to have to return to Sector 3 to clear up some of these feats, and I do highly recommend that you at least try to get some of those done on the bonus node over here, as it will be getting you Datacron materials. Okay. Let's start off with a little bit of that defense up. I would like for you to find yourselves a Mon Mothma node. Geos will also do. And the super secret extra juicy sauce for this is, of course, everybody's favorite Chewbacca. Not close. Clone Wars I mean, it'd be easier if I just type it all in. Clone Wars Chewbacca. Yep. Gear 4 Clone Wars Chewbacca. I have 13.3 million GP. And my Clone Wars Chewie is still stuck at Gear 4. However, his leadership is very useful. Allies have got 50% deep or plus 50 defense and a 50% chance to gain defense up for 3 turns whenever they are damaged. If you throw Clone Wars Chewbacca in with the likes of, say, Barriss is quite useful with her Zeta, because whenever you crit an ally, they are going to be gaining themselves some recovery based on Barriss's max health. And then you just want someone like Malak to tank some hits, and then you can throw in something like Wat Tambor for recovery, and maybe someone like Hermit Yoda or something like this. Honestly, the rest of it doesn't matter. You go in like this, and you're just gonna let them roll over you, basically. I'm gonna place a healing medpack tech over here on Malak. You do not need to have voluntary vanguard or anything like that. We're going to use that second special from Barriss, or first special rather. It does pass defense up to the entire team, and we're just going to let them wail away on our Malak, basically. And then I place Master's Training over here, and I'm going to just hit auto, and you sit back, you relax, and it does the entire thing for you. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you lose units. You don't even care about winning this fight. You just want to sit back and wait. Even after Clone Wars Chewbacca has died, his leadership is still going to be active, and that leadership is going to be passing you wonderful, wonderful defense up 50% of the time. You just need a team that's going to do lots of assists and attacks out of turn. Many, many hits beats big hits, all right? So all of this has got a good chance of giving you defense up, which is absolutely great. And you could just go down, have a cup of tea. Maybe instead you want to go a little bit crazy, have a shot of whiskey, eh? Right? Now I'm speaking your language. Am I right? Maybe you want to have some snacks. Maybe you got some Doritos, right? I mean, it'll be a great time. Anyway, just leave this on auto and come back when you've lost, and you'll get all of your defense ups, no problem. One battle. It's an oldie, but it's an oldie but a goldie. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't want to waste a battle, you could, of course, just go in for like a Jedi team. You throw in Grandmaster Yoda in a team with Barriss like this, maybe a Clone Wars Chewie lead. Between Barriss passing defense up and GMY then spreading those buffs to allies, you could probably win the battle and not waste anything, right? But I'm not going to force you to do anything. Do what you got to do. All right, cool. Next up, we have got target practice 400 times. Okay, so target practice is interesting because it only exists on essentially 2 characters, and they're both Bad Batch. One of them is on OG Omega, the original high single target damage character, alright? And I believe it's from Adaptive Learner. Essentially, when she uses her first special, she does this zoned in effect, and whenever she uses an attack based on... Oh no, whenever she uses this on zeroed in characters, she gets a stack of target practice, and whenever she uses empathy first, I think she gains another stack of target practice. There you go, right? But you have to get 400 stacks of target practice, so it takes frickin' ages, right? Well, unless you've got New Omega, because New Omega will pass it quite liberally to her Bad Batch allies. Essentially, if you attack the same units you attacked last turn with your Bad Batch allies, you are going to be gaining stacks of this nonsense of target practice, right? So all you really want to do is go in with data discs that are not going to ramp your damage. And if you go in against like Geos, even Mon Mothma nodes like that, with just like OG Omega, no, it's not OG Omega, sorry, New Omega and the rest of the OG Bad Batch, you will get so many stacks, it's unreal. So, like, you'll get like 120 plus stacks easily. I'll demonstrate right now, okay? Especially if you've got Amplify Agony. Amplify Agony will actually duplicate. So that there, Amplify Agony triggering on those debuffs actually counts as you damaging the enemy. So next time we do an AoE, can you see all of this blue lock over here? Damage this enemy to gain target practice. Watch this. Look at these stacks of target practice on the whole team right now. We just roll it out. Booyah. And then the whole team over here has got 9 stacks. So 9 times 5 is 45 stacks immediately. But then we've got an attack with Wrecker. Let's go ahead and do another AoE attack. Boom, boom, boom. Blop. And now we're at 22 stacks apiece. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that one? I think you'll find the answer is yes. Yes, Scribble, that is wonderful. And then we'll do another AoE. Boom. And we're at, well, we would have got extra attacks, except this new guy came in and did some additional stuff, so we lost some of it there. But you get my drift, right, guys? You get the gist of it. I'm just trying to see. It would be great if we didn't have to attack someone here, but we'll go after Xaereth Rebel Pathfinder anyway. If we just do basics on him right now, he's going to revive provided he has a buff, so that can let us drag it out a little bit longer, and we can let her revive her units. Isn't that great? Let's do that for just a smidgen over here. We'll clap hands as well. We'll clap cheeks. Just do a basic over here. Just do a basic over here. Look, we've got 8 stacks apiece. Now, don't forget, that's 8 stacks apiece, right? So 8 times 5, that's 40 stacks right now, or 45 right now. And then we'll do another basic over here, and look at that, we're at 12 stacks. It's super, super easy. If you go against a team that's got a lot of sustain, especially if they've got extra stuff over here, we'll do the AoE. That's going to have triggered everybody, so that when we do our next AoE ourselves, we're going to get lots and lots of stacks. So over here, boop, 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 boop. There we go, 5 stacks apiece. Wonderful. I'll go ahead and use this special. No, this is gonna trigger it, unfortunately. Just one. All right. Now, it would be great if you could have a buff just so you could revive and keep things going. This is a really good node to get this done, guys. It's a really good node to get this done, because you can just keep on going, baby. You can just keep on going. As long as Xaereth Rebel Pathfinder keeps on reviving, it's like infinite free candy. And I love free candy. It's my favorite kind of candy. The free ones are always the best. You could easily get like 200 plus doing something like this if they've got plenty of sustain on them. You're just getting so many stacks of that wonderful target practice. Now, I think I'm probably going to blow the entire board now. Oh, well, we didn't blow our load there. This next one definitely will do, though. So maybe for the sake of posterity, we just blow the whole board. We just blow the whole board. Everybody blows the whole board, and that was an extra 50 stacks at the end. Super, super easy to actually cheese this, guys. Obviously, if you don't have really strong Bad Batch, you can go in against, like, a crew node with Han and Chewie and do it that way instead, right? It'll be slower, but at least you'll be able to ramp. Okay. So target practice, really not so bad. Some no attacker teams then. If you take in an Imperial Trooper team, don't take Dark Trooper, and throw in Wat Tambor, you're usually able to go in and get some pretty easy victories with these guys. I'm using Veers over here with Piet, Gideon, and Range Trooper. 0 attackers. On your first turn with Wat Tambor, just use a basic, and that's going to pass 2 heals up to your entire team. Those 2 buffs will essentially give your whole team 20% turn meter. Really easy in getting you ahead of everybody else. And if you know Imperial Troopers, essentially all you need is to get that first kill on the enemy team to start your turn meter train, and you'll be able to get 1 or 2 victories with this easily, even in Sector 3, especially if you've got some quickening data discs and that sort of business, alright? Pretty easy one to do here. Another good team for no attackers is Night Sisters, the Great Mothers over here. I'm using Merrin with, looks like Zombie Acolyte for some reason, might be Initiate, I can never tell. That does not make me like a Night Sister racist, guys. I just never use these trashy Night Sisters. But many of them do not have an attacker tag on them, so it's quite easy to get the wins. I mean, Great Mothers are phenomenal in Conquest. They are really, really strong. Being able to remove that protection from players, being able to remove their ability to revive with absolutely 0 issues, makes it an absolute doddle, especially if you've got amplified agony in your data discs. Every debuff that you do is going to be doing percentile health damage to the enemy, making it so easy to defeat people. Look at Wat Tambor over there. He's trying his best to revive those separatist allies, but unfortunately, if you get doomed, you cannot be revived, and everybody we defeat is essentially going to have doomed. Even that B1 battle droid over there thinks he's dead. It's a hard life. It's a hard life. Now, if you don't have the Great Mothers, you can still use OG Night Sisters as well. I'm going against Murder Bears here, and they are an absolute nightmare, generally speaking, because whenever you attack out of turn, you are going to, of course, get stunned. So what do? I just do loads of attacks out of turn because I'm a rebel. I mean, not in the literal sense. I mean, I'm like a rule breaker, not like a rebel for the Rebel Alliance. Team Empire, baby, let's go. Who am I joking? I love the Resistance. I hate the Resistance. Oh my god. But this team works as well. Look, no attackers. Yay. Alternatively, maybe you are a Galactic Republic fan and you've got Queen Amidala. Now, Padawan Obi-Wan is an attacker, but Master Qui-Gon Jinn isn't, and I'm taking in Padme with herself and Grandmaster Yoda and Shakti. I did do the mistake of going up against a Phoenix node, and Phoenix nodes are absolutely flicking bonkers, so you might be the subject of infinite attack syndrome, as I like to call it. But if you can revive, or can survive rather, until you get your turns, you're going to be okay. I'll hold your hand through the rest of the battle, and, you know, you've got damage output out the wazoo. Now, I'm using a data disc here that when they drop below 100% protection, they're going to get locked heal immunity and 2 armor shreds, which is, quite frankly, it's insane. I want that in GAC, truth be told. That would make life very easy. Now, they can revive with that backup plan, but it's really not going to make much of a difference, especially when we've defeated all of their other allies. A lone Sabine is no real threat. Although she is a trier, bless her. Now, I could give you a bunch of teams to use Darth Vader in, but I'm not going to. It's as simple as that. Go like Inquisitors with Darth Vader. Go Lord Vader with Darth Vader. Go CLS Han Chewie Chupio with Darth Vader. There's like 1,000 different teams that you can do that with. Just have fun whilst you're doing it. If you've got Reaver Inquisitors, that's probably the easiest way. So let's look at the mid-sector boss then. We're facing off against JTR, and we've got 2 feats to do. Win with Omega Fugitive surviving, and defeat an enemy with Apo. Now, you can do this in one battle. It's really not so bad. But if you want to just get your target practice against this node, you can do that as well. So I'm going to take the weirdest team that you've seen today. Darth Vader's leadership with Apo, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Omega Fugitive, and Darth Treya. Now, I could probably... Yeah, let's make this easier. Let's get Malak in, because, you know, we've got Voluntary Vanguard, and I'd rather them attack Malak than anybody else. They do have a little bit of AoE damage, so if you can't quite deal with the Finn, maybe you'll have to take in someone like Han Solo to stun Finn at the start. I'm just going to fracture him, because that's the kind of guy I am. And then I'm going to drop... No, I'm going to go straight into Merciless Massacre. I'm going to drop dots. The reason I'm taking Vader's leadership here is because I want those dots to stick around to make getting that kill with Apo easier, alright? So I'm not going to drop another one because I feel like that Finn's going to die anyway when I get a turn with Apo. We're just going to use this AoE. Let's go 1x speed over here. We should at least get a kill on Finn. We got Holdo as well. Well, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that magical, ladies and gentlemen? Let's just basic JTR for good measure. And I'll pass this round to Vader. Apparently, we didn't actually land any dots on Rey. I don't know how she's cleansing dots when, you know, Vader's leadership's supposed to be reapplying, but we don't question things here. That way, you got your defeat with Apo, and you got your win with Omega Fugitive. It's not so hard. Let's go to the boss feat. End Sector Boss is a CLS team, and we need to win with Captain Enoch in our squad. He does not need to survive, and we need to win without using any support units in your squad. And you might have guessed this, but Enoch, yeah, he's a support. So I'm going to be taking in a Darth Revan team with Malak, Basti Fallen, and Marauder over here featuring Captain Enoch. Enoch doesn't need to survive, so he's just there to... Well, to look pretty, mostly. If they go in on your Malak, that's probably a best case scenario, because we can just immediately start life draining their CLS, throw some stuff at him as well, because he does deserve it, let's be honest. Oh, we've got the double life drain and CLS is gone. That's exactly what you want. If you can get that to happen, just go after Chewbacca next, get rid of the guard that exists on the field, thanks to Chewbacca being Chewbacca, and that will make the rest of our lives easier. All in with the AoE fear, let's cleanse off some of that debuff. Let's have a look. I'm going to save the fear just for now. Let's get the tenacity down. Throw some lightsabers at Chewbacca. We've got it done. We've got it done, guys. We might lose Malak here, but Oh, we might not. Say goodnight, Han Solo. You just got sucked off by Malak. Sucked off by a Sith Lord is a tight way to go. I've heard it under good authority. Chupio over here is also about to die. Oh, Malak is just racking up the kills today. So yeah, it's not hard. It's not hard, ladies and gentlemen. You can get it done. I believe in you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to about do it for Sector 3 of this Conquest. Hope this video was useful to you. If it was, give it a like. Maybe just put it in your favorites, bookmark it, send it to your mother. She really wants to see this sort of thing. She wants to know what you get up to on a daily basis. And if that includes sucking off people with Malak, then so be it. Sorry, Mom. Anyway, I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.